Welcome back to our gym challenge, the final one of Regulation G. I am Dennis Geisler. I have Pikachu here with me. Try to make him face the camera better. We're about to get into round number 3 of our Swiss stage. 4 rounds today, so every round counts. I think both these players are at 1-1. I could try to look at the matchup chart all the way over there, and I think they're at 1-1. I'm just going to tell you guys that, and if they're not, then we'll deal with the consequences later. In any case, it does mean this one's pretty important for both these players trying to get there, and both these players definitely SoCal staples, as you now get to see Tyler's team, which is, in fact, Reshiram, Thundurus Therian, Tornadus Incarnate, Landorus Therian, Enamorous Incarnate, and Ditto. Hayley's team, as everyone is used to at this point, is Calyrex Shadow, Galarian Weezing, Indeedee Female, Iron Hands, and Dondozo and Tatsugiri, the Potato Brothers. Tyler's team, I have literally no idea how this is going to play. I look at these Pokemon, I see what the Pokemon do. Tornadus is pretty normal. Landorus does have that Assault Vest. Mostly a pretty standard set with the Stomping Tantrum, the U-Turn, the Rock Slide. Does have the Fissure as an out, which is really interesting against the Dondozo. I wonder if that'll come up in this matchup. The Thundurus Therian is a real surprising one. It does have a famously very high special attack stat, and with the Choice Scarf, it'll move pretty quickly. Wild Bolt, Choice Scarf, hitting really hard, could be pretty valuable here, especially I don't believe there is any Wide Guard on Hayley's team. Enamorous Incarnate, that's Choice Banded with the Contrary, so it wants to click either Terra Blast, Terra Stellar, Terra Blast, or Superpower and just kind of loop that. Also has the Play Rough and the Healing Wish in case it just needs to get out of there. And then the Reshiram is interesting, being the cornerstone here, but I don't really know exactly what it's going to do. It's got the Blue Flare, the Draco Meteor, and the Weather Ball, along with the Life Orb, so it'll do some good damage. We're going to see Hayley lead out with the Horse and the Weezing. On the other end, we have that Reshiram and Tornadus. So, important to note, Tornadus won't get the Prankster here. Still is pretty fast, but doesn't get to boost up its Tailwind to be faster. And I'm not sure, actually, if it takes an Astral Barrage, so I guess oh, well, it's a Focus Sash Calyrex, so should probably take a Astral Barrage. The Weezing, of course, always present. Reshiram will protect. Calyrex does go for that Astral Barrage. We'll see if that does successfully knock out the Tornadus. I don't think it should. It is Focus Sash. Yeah. Does some good damage, not enough to get particularly close to the KO. And Tornadus will get its Tailwind off. No Prankster, but still getting it done. Strange Steam, not enough to pick up the Tornadus. Very close, but not going to get there. And now, plenty of options for Tyler with the speed advantage. Got the Blue Flare. Got Weather Ball, an opportunity, as now the Tornadus is fast enough to click a very fast Sunny Day. Calyrex will protect. See if Tyler read that out. No Heat Wave, so not really any way to hit both these opponents. It's a double protect, so it doesn't matter. That means Tornadus will get the... excuse me. Oh, wow, Reshiram actually goes first. That's funny. It is Min Speed Tornadus. I forgot that was mentioned to me earlier. This team really is something. The Sunny Day does go up. So now, an opportunity to knock out both these Pokemon is here for Tyler. Really getting the best out of that turn. I don't know that the double protect from Hayley. Again, it feels nice to double protect when you can stall out the Tailwind a turn and kind of read out what your opponent's doing, but letting the sun go up there and now allowing Tornadus to potentially double up into the Calyrex and pick up the knockout is not ideal. There's the Blue Flare, gonna connect. Good damage down onto the Calyrex, brings it down to Focus Sash, as probably was anticipated. There's the Life Orb Recoil. Bleak Wind will hit and pick up the knockout on the Calyrex while doing a little bit of damage to Weezing. Drop the speed as well, not going to matter right now. Probably not going to matter in general, although Genies are pretty fast. And Weezing, with another Strange Steam into the Tornadoes, picks up the knockout. The damage has already been done. Tornadoes has already gotten basically everything done that it needed to, and now... now's where the real fun begins, with a Thunderous Therian coming in. Oh, that is not a guy I'm used to seeing. He just don't look right. The question of what Hayley wants to go for here. She could bring in, basically, you're weak to Electric, which is the type of move that Thunderous really wants to hit. If you Terrastalize, you resist Electric, but you're weak to Grass. You could also not bring in your Tatsugiri yet, which is another option. Excuse me. And another Protect from the Weezing, really trying to stall out the Sunny Day and the Tailwind, I guess, or at least try to read out this team a little bit. It's just game one of the best of 3, so might just be preserving some of the ideas for later, but now this offers a really nice opportunity to just go into the Dondozo. Because the Dondozo can't protect next turn, Tailwind is down, but there's really nothing Dondozo can do here against Blue Flare plus Volt Switch. It will take a ton of damage. And with it being really the only win condition left in this game 1 for Hayley, you really have to decide, what do I think will do more damage to me? What do I think I'm more afraid of happening to me? Weezing will switch out. Doesn't mean a whole lot in this matchup. Turbo Blaze doesn't really do anything. It just ignores abilities, which, cool. The neutralizing gas turned them off anyways. And Volt Absorb doesn't really matter against a team with not a whole lot of... no electric damage, actually. Tatsugiri does come in and boost the Dondozo up. Now we'll see, is it a Terra? No Terra. Volt Switch into the Dondozo doesn't actually do that much damage. It does a bit less than I had expected, probably because Volt Switch not the highest damage move in the world. But Landorus will come in and drop Dondozo's attack with the Intimidate, which is pretty significant. Down to just a +1, and Blue Flare, that is really good damage for resisted hit. Dondozo will go with the Order Up into the Reshiram. That doesn't knock out. It's very close, but brings it back up to that neutral... excuse me, the neutral attack stat. You can't possibly do it. We'll see, we'll see. Alright, hold on, I gotta get ready for the clip if it goes through. So Dondozo sitting on about half its HP. Blue Flare did a lot of damage, but it will drop to Recoil if it goes for another one. So we'll switch out. Thunderous comes in. There is the Terra from the Landorus. I believe Landorus should move before Dondozo. Like, regardless of whether the Terra goes through or not. So we're gonna see the Terra now. It's Terra Grass, which, sure. Then it goes for the Fissure and doesn't get it. I wanted it. I wanted the Fissure. Order Up the other direction. Does a little bit under half the Landorus's HP, but the second one will probably pick up the knockout. Dondozo will protect this time. Not going to allow itself to get hit by a Fissure this turn, at least. Every turn you allow a Fissure to go through, though, it raises the chances of the Fissure actually connecting. So we'll wait that turn out. It does give the Leftovers recovery a little bit of time to cook, which of course is nice for the Dondozo. And now we'll see it again. Third time's a charm. Pizza's here! Excited for pizza. Oh, speaking of food, the MSS, it's not an MSS, it's a cup. The Cup Barbecue Potluck is at the end of the month on May 31st. Be sure to come out. It will be a really fun time. It'll be at Griffith Park, which always a really fun time, playing Pokemon outside, eating food, hanging out. It'll be great. You should sign up. You can sign up, just go to PokemonLabs.com and you'll see all the stuff that you need for that. Anyways, back to Pokemon. Wild Bolt Storm going to miss the Dondozo, actually, but that means it'll be so much cooler when the Fissure missed. Order Up goes into the Thundurus. Not enough to knock out, but it's starting to get concerning. The Wild Bolt miss is actually the first, oh wait, this is kind of bad for Tyler moment. But if Ty gets one of those fissures, it's over. Dondozo will protect again, so I'll wait a minute and look at the pizza for a second. Take a drink of water. I took a drink of water. You can also take a drink of water. I'm not. You don't have to. You should, though. You should take a drink of water. Stomping Tantrum. You gotta go for the fissure. Ooh, maybe it's because you don't want to let your fissure PP get stalled out by these protects. So use the Stomping Tantrum into the protect, and then you go for the fissure. Yeah. Alrighty. Wild Bolt. Does it miss again? No, it connects into the Dondozo this time. Does pretty good damage. And Fissure connects! Third time's a charm. The Fissure goes through on the Dondozo. Reg A memories abound. And that will leave Hayley with just the Weezing and the Tatsugiri remaining. Still, honestly, an opportunity for Hayley to win this one. It will... it's difficult because the Tatsugiri doesn't have super effective damage onto the Landorus anymore. It is, it does. Ooh, and the Wild Bolt Storm actually goes ahead of the Tatsugiri. I forgot, it is also Scarfed and faster than Tatsugiri. Gets the Paralysis on the Weezing as well. Who will eat a berry, I guess. A little chomp on the Citrus Berry. Tatsugiri does go for the Icy Wind. Will it pick up the knockout on Thundurus? It will. Does super effective damage on Landorus as well. I was worried the Muddy Water would be the choice and I wouldn't be able to get that. But Icy Wind definitely won't be able to win this. It is Scarf. And we'll see even if it's able to take this hit. It's not. Stomping Tantrum takes it down. And now Reshiram going to have the opportunity to finish this one off. Weezing goes for the Poison Gas, but... ooh, wait. Reshiram actually is on just a sliver of HP remaining. I'm remembering that now. So this could actually come down to the wire a little bit. I believe, Terran, check me if I'm wrong here. If Ty gets a knockout with Life Orb, and gets the knockout and then gets recoiled with Life Orb, Ty wins, yeah? Okay. So, still will need to get some amount of damage down onto the Reshiram, although Blue Flare can miss. Draco Meteor can also... Well, Draco Meteor doesn't do anything to Weezing in general. Might have to go for the Weather Ball, just the baby Weather Ball. I think that should be enough to pick up the KO. Oh no, it's definitely not enough to pick up the KO. It'll come down to it. I think you could also double protect here, I think, if you're the Hayley's Weezing. I think you might have to. Very awkward spot to be in. I'm going to go for the Terra here. It's Terra Dark Weezing. Not really going to matter. I suppose hoping that it'll take a Stomping Tantrum here if it's able to get rid of the Reshiram, but come down to a Blue Flare missing probably? Yeah, I went for the double protect, not gonna get that. Does the Blue Flare connect? It does. Weezing drops and Tyler wins game 1. Got to see the fissure. Got to see the fissure on the Dondozo, which is very fun. I believe that was the second to last fissure remaining there for Tyler. Reshiram will drop due to the Life Orb recoil, but Landorus still standing there. One turn remaining with Poison Chip, but all you really need, and that is the win for Tyler. We'll see how Game 2 differs there. Dondozo played that, Dondozo made that game play out pretty slowly. But ultimately, Fissure, Wild Bolt Storm, and Blue Flare is a lot of damage to threaten against Dondozo. And I don't know if it necessarily is able to take all of that in in the quantity that it's going to have to in order to win this set. Tai also did get rid of Calyrex a little bit easier than it maybe should have in game number 1. And we'll see if that is how the series plays out as a whole. Looks like we'll see the same 4 from Tai. I would have liked to see Choice Band and Amorous, but I will accept not seeing Choice Band and Amorous. Ditto is fine. I saw Ditto earlier. And Ditto is also in the chair next to me. Ditto is the chair next to me. Excuse me. Pikachu's in the chair, but Ditto is the chair. See what Hayley wants to go for. Obviously, the lead in the last game with the Galarian Weezing and the Calyrex Shadow didn't really pan out as you'd probably want it to. But there's certainly a lot that Calyrex is able to contribute. Certainly has a good matchup against a lot of this team. I mean, it's faster than all these Pokemon, except for the Choice Scarf Thundurus, of course. It has the Focus Sash. If it's able to pick up an easy KO or two early on in the battle, you do have the opportunity to try to just put things together and win it. It's round number 3, game number 2. Both these players at 1-1 on the day. A win puts you in pretty good contention over Top Cut. A loss might knock you out entirely. I'm not sure if there'll be any 2-2s in Top Cut. It's gonna be Thundurus and Tornadus, the Genie friends, up against Indeedee and Dondozo. I don't dislike this lead from Hayley in principle, although it does allow pretty easy just Wild Bolt Tailwind, and I don't really know if there is much of a answer that Hayley has for that play right now. Or even just the Fleetwind just layering all the damage. Because you're faster than both these Pokemon regardless. Dondozo's very slow, even with the doubled speed. I know the EVs, they're the ones I use now. Indeed, going to swap out on Hayley's side. It will probably be the Tatsugiri coming in. Yes, it is. Puts up the Commander boost, and now the question is, what is actually... what is the Dondozo going to go for here? We know that Order Up probably doesn't knock out either of these Pokemon. Does it Terrastalize here? Could give it a bit better of a matchup against Wild Bolt. And also, does Wild Bolt connect? Yes, it does. It does hit the Dondozo. And that is very good damage into it. Bleak Wind will connect into the Dondozo as well. About half the HP down already on this thing. And it goes for the Order Up into the Thundurus. Should take just 2 of those. Thundurus should, at least. Dondozo will heal up a little bit of its HP. Should go for a Protect turn right now. And Tornadus will switch out predicting that, which I like. There's Landorus coming in here. We'll get the attack drop onto the Dondozo. We see the Protect here. Yeah, it is the Protect turn. Makes sense. Get the Leftovers recovery. Don't let Wild Bolt. Wild Bolt's probably a 3-hit KO with Leftovers recovery, but we'll have to see. And of course, it can miss. So that could really decide things here. The Fissure is also an option, and I mean, after how successful it was in the previous game, no reason not to try it out now. Is it time for Fissure? Ooh, it looks like it's time for Fissure. Thundurus is going to swap out, going to preserve that for the late game. I actually like that quite a bit. That's the funny thing about having a Pokemon like Reshiram, which Reshiram's still like a restricted, still has good stats, but having a restricted like Reshiram means that you could just kind of throw away your Reshiram if you don't really like it very much, and just play through Thunderous Therian, which honestly, I don't think it's good, but in this matchup it actually matches up really, really well. Oh, and Landorus does not connect the Fissure. Unfortunate for sure. Order Up, super effective into the Reshiram, and yeah, that'll pick up the knockout instantly. It seems like Tai is playing mostly around the idea of trying to get that Fissure for the win here. This will probably be the Protect turn. Yeah, there it is. Tai's doing a good job of reading these Protect turns and not wasting Fissures during them. See if that keeps up. Or even if Hayley goes for a bit of a mix-up and goes for an attack on a Stomping Tantrum turn and takes way less damage. At this point, really it's coming down to Fissure. It really is coming down to Fissure at this point. We await Fissure. I'm gonna talk to Hayley about buttons being quicker to press, because you only have the Dondozo to think about. You just, what button do I click on my Dondozo? Because you don't have multiple Pokemon, you can't switch, so it's just a matter of what button you click. Fissure not connecting again, very sad. We'll see the Order Up go into the Landorus this time. Good damage. Gets the attack boost as well. And gets that Leftovers recovery. It's starting to look like Dondozo might have this one. Especially considering getting rid of the Calyrex in the back is going to be pretty tough. Dondozo will protect, but I believe that's going to be the last protect it's going to be able to do, as the Haunt will probably come through now that the Psychic Terrain is down. I want to get some pizza right now. It always happens. It's always this Dondozo when I'm trying to get that pizza. Fissure's got to connect here. The taunt stops the protect now, so Leftovers recovery is going to be a little less valuable. Fissure not gonna connect, and the Order Up should come through onto the Tornadus. Not going to knock out. It's actually going to leave the Landorus standing there. There'd be one more opportunity to Fissure here. Well, yeah, one more Fissure. Should have maxed out the Fissure PP. Should have thought about that. There's the Tailwind. Here it comes. Oh, that's not going to hit. No, Fissure is able to connect onto the Dondozo, and it'll pick up the Landorus anyways. Probably come down to Thunderous Crit at this point to try to pick this one up, as Thunderous is also on pretty low HP. And even then, if Thunderous crits, it's still an uphill battle. There are no Pokemon down on Hayley's side. It's just been this Dondozo the entire game. Wild Bolt. Here we go, Bleak Wind and Wild Bolt. Wild Bolt connects. It's okay damage, but really not enough. Does not get the para. There's the Bleak Wind, and I think an Order Up now is due for Thunderous. There it is. And one more Order Up will do it. Or any other Pokemon doing anything. We're gonna head to game number 3. At game number 2, Dondozo didn't get fissured and kind of took over the entire game. And I think it's a question of whether it would have been able to do, like, get as much work done if it had been hit by a bunch of wild bolts. But fundamentally, Order Up is actually getting a lot of work done onto this team. Mostly just because the only thing that resists or nullifies it is the Enamorous. I do wonder, though, Tai does have the Enamorous, which is immune to Order Up, and also the Ditto, which can just switch in on Dondozo and take all those boosts. Dondozo versus Dondozo with the Ditto Dozo is a very strange matchup. But it does kind of function. I've noticed Tai, for some reason, didn't go through the very important steps of making sure that these genies for the silly Genie Reshiram team don't all have their PP maxed out, which is turning out to be a problem specifically for this matchup. Put my hand in front of the microphone for no particular reason, which meant that the thing didn't go through for a second. Probably should have maxed out the PP for this matchup. Definitely the sad moment here. What is pizza? This is the part of the stream where I just want some pizza. Let's see what the choice will be here. Also, just not a lot of protects on Tyler's team. No protect on Thunderous, no protect on Landorus, no protect on Tornadus, no protect on Enamorous. None of the genies have a protect. Ditto has a protect if it takes a protect. So it's just the Reshiram, basically. Which can make it kind of difficult to play against the Dondozo, which can just click Order Up into whatever. Game number 3. For all the well, not all the marbles, some marbles. It's probably going to be difficult to make it to top cut without a win here, at the very least. We'll get into game. The Volcarona and the Ogre Pawn, neither of which in this battle. Hayley does send out the Wheezing and Dondozo this time. It's the Tornadus Reshiram, same lead as game 1 for Tyler. But this is a little bit better of a spot, I think, for Tyler, just because you don't need to Tailwind this turn. And Tornadus is definitely faster than both these Pokemon. So you have a couple of different choices you can pick between here in terms of what you want to prioritize. You don't have to get Tailwind up right now. You can Taunt and then Sunny Day and then Tailwind if you want. Be able to stop the Wheezing a little bit. The Wheezing does want to Taunt itself and also Poison Gas and also Protect. The Wheezing's actually just going to switch out. It's going to be the Dondozo, probably going to have the Tatsugiri come in and hang out with it. Yeah, there's Tatsugiri the Sleepy. Jumping in the Dondozo's mouth, and we are seeing Dondozo coming out early in this one. In that last game, Reshiram didn't do literally anything. It switched in and got hit by Order Up immediately. We won't see that happen here because it clicked Protect. Tornadus taunted into the slot that is now Tatsugiri, which clearly won't do anything, and the Order Up goes into the Tornadus. Gets the attack boost there, and a nice early turn of advantage. Tornadus will switch out. Again, that's the advantage of this matchup, is you know that all your Pokemon are faster than Dondozo, so there's not really a need to get the Tailwind up right now, and maintaining it for later, when presumably Calyrex is in the back, is pretty important. Blue Flare. Does it burn? No burn, I think. Yeah, no burn. Wave Crash, actually, the choice into Reshiram. I don't know if I agree with that one necessarily. It probably would have been better just to go for the Order Up. Depends on the range, I suppose. Wave Crash will do a lot of damage back to the Dondozo. But it does have leftovers, so it'll heal up. And Reshiram actually does not have that much HP. It did not do a crazy amount of damage into that Dondozo. And now the question. One that scientists have been pondering for eons. Will Fissure hit? Well, first the question of will Dondozo click Protect, which scientists have not had to think about for as long. It won't. It will. Fissure Connect here could really change this one. Now the Fissure is the question more than anything else. Do the Terra first from Tyler, which makes sense. Want to get away from the weakness to Wave Crash, although we haven't seen Dondozo take the bait and Wave Crash into Landorus at all. But it's not like there is a much better Terra opportunity on this team. Thundurus will Volt Switch out. That is good damage. Again, Thundurus is doing pretty good damage to Dondozo by itself. Tornadoes will come in, it has to be the one to come in, and Fissure connects! Game 3 and the Fissure comes through on the first opportunity. Dondozo drops. And now Tyler with the opportunity to take advantage of the extremely skillful Fissure play. Calyrex is going to be the switch in here. Going to try to pick up KOs on the back end of this. What makes sense here is a switch in for the Weezing out of the Tatsugiri into Weezing on Hayley's side to make sure the Tailwind can't go up. Question will simply be, how much does Landorus get to do here? Landorus shouldn't drop to a Astral Barrage. I'd be pretty shocked if it did with the Assault Vest. Yeah, Tatsugiri is going to come out. It's going to be Weezing coming in, and so Tailwind won't be able to go up. So Astral Barrage will come out first. There it goes. See, how much does this do to Landorus? Not half, less than half, but probably enough to pick up with the +1 now. It'll come down to whether moves hit. Rock Slide does hit both targets, and does okay damage to both. It breaks Calyrex's Sash, most importantly, so now Thundurus can come in, and with nothing able to resist it, it will click Wild Bolt. That is not a maybe, it is a definitely, it's going to click that Wild Bolt Storm. And Calyrex is going to Protect, so that will, we'll wait a minute. Oh, we're going to get the double Protect, actually. So we'll see what the Thundurus is locked into, but we knew it was going to be the Wild Bolt. On the other end, an Astral Barrage will probably end this game. If Tyler's able to get rid of the Calyrex this turn, Tyler probably wins. If they aren't, the Astral Barrage probably KOs both these Pokemon right now, and the game is over. So either way, the game is probably determined by Wild Bolt Storm right now. I take a drink of water first, and also Wild Bolt Storm can miss, and also it can para. Either of which would matter quite a lot. I'm gonna see the Terrascal. I'd imagine that's Weezing. It will be the Weezing. Gets away from its weakness to ground. Small optimization, but could matter. Here it goes. Wild Bolt Storm double connects. Doesn't take down the Calyrex. Does it paralyze? It does paralyze the Calyrex. And that means the Calyrex should be slower after Weezing eats its berry. Weezing, get out of the way. You're not the one we're worried about right now. After Weezing eats its berry, it is slower than the Landorus, who gets the Stomping Tantrum and picks up the KO on the Calyrex. A crazy turn of events there. Did get the Pharah and did get the KO because of it. Strange Steam, not going to do too much damage into the Thunderous. Tatsugiri is slower, even with the Choice Scarf, than the Thunderous, so another Wild Bolt Storm will come out. Choice Scarf does not allow use of Volt Switch. It's going to be the Wild Bolt. See, it does miss someone. It misses the Wheezing. That could matter quite a bit. That's about half of Tatsugiri's HP here. Tatsugiri goes for the Icy Wind. It's super effective on both targets. Also makes both of them slower, which does mean that Tatsugiri will outspeed both of them next turn if it's able to get through this turn. But the Stomping Tantrum comes through, and it'll pick up the KO on the Tatsugiri. Does Wheezing pick up a KO with Strange Steam here? Oh, but Strange Steam misses the Landorus! I don't know if it would have gotten the KO, but it certainly won't if it misses. That is how it works. And with all of that, the Fissure connecting, the Wild Bolt Storm picking up the Paralysis, missing Wheezing again, that is very strange. We'll see if the Stomping Tantrum actually KOs. It doesn't. But it still didn't KO the Landorus, yeah. After all of that. And another Protect just to waste our time. After all of that. Oh man, an absolute odyssey of a series. I gotta see, a Wild Bolt does finally connect on the Wheezing, picks up the KO, and Tyler Deacy with the quadruple Genie Reshiram team gets the victory in a crazy round number 3. Absolutely crazy set. We're gonna take a break. I need to eat pizza. We will be back with round number 4. Don't go anywhere.